Hi guys!
Hey y'all!
So welcome back to Y'all Hearing This. My name is Kay. Thank you so much for coming back and joining us.
Yes, and my name is Honeybee, or you can call me B, and whichever you choose is alright with who. Okay,
That's
get it?
Right.
Period.
So excited to talk about this group more. So every Wednesday we focus on a new artist of the week.
Yes.
This week we did GOT7.
Mm-hmm.
We watched a couple MVs, we watched a dance practice and a live, we watched a guide, and now we talk about it in the podcast.
Yeah.
So this is a group, so I knew, we both knew Jackson Wang from it.
Yeah.
And I knew also Bam Bam literally just kind of from face.
Yes,
I've seen like a couple interviews with him, but I didn't even know he was a rapper.
Yes,
So yeah, and I knew he was from Thailand and stuff like that. But anyway, this was so much fun to get into more of their songs. I think we'd only ever heard 2 before. I heard a bunch of Jackson Wang, but yeah, I think only 2 GOT7 songs, and I liked those. But yeah, I really liked the ones that we heard today too, when we were watching them. Especially the Na Na Na. I really like that one.
Yes, I did really like that.
And then if you do the dance practice one, I really like that one too.
Yeah, I definitely was feeling that.
Yeah.
That Na Na Na.
Yeah, that was good. And they're amazing dancers too.
Yes.
So we definitely got to see a lot of that. There's some very acrobatic dancing
For
too.
real.
B-boying.
I was like, y'all been doing your stretches.
Yeah, I think it was JB, the leader, who's the B-boy. Yeah.
And he did it with the dress on.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say,
and heels.
Yes, I was gonna say. So, what's your favorite part of? Or what did you feel like you got the most? Or what did you learn?
Yeah.
All of our typical.
Yeah, the chaos for sure.
I'm here for it.
I just love groups that are chaotic. I love it. I wouldn't want to spend a week with them, but I really
I would.
Oh, that's true. It would be so much fun. Actually, we'd get into so much trouble.
I would, because I'm that person where I'm like, you gonna egg me on, I'm gonna egg you on back. I'm gonna get you.
They definitely were a family, brothers,
all day,
hardcore. Like I was saying in the guide, especially, like I can absolutely see myself. Running around after them and doing silly things, making fun of each other, death staring, it was great. And
who was the one that had the death stare? Was that Bam Bam? Hold on.
No, hold on. I think it was Jin Young. Or Young Jay, I think.
Okay.
See, we literally came here right from the guide, but
yeah, right.
We'll learn it. No, I think it was Young Jay. I think.
Okay.
But yeah, they were. It was just so much fun to kind of, see their different personalities too.
Yes.
I love Jackson, don't get me wrong. I loved his energy. Him and Bam Bam together are hysterical.
Yeah.
I loved Bam Bam and Yugyeom together too, the Maknae.
Yes.
Yugyeom was hysterical. He was very disrespectful to his youngs, and I loved that. Running around. That was so much fun. They definitely all had that really fun energy. And there were a couple iconic laughs in this group, too.
Yeah.
I couldn't help. I think it was Young Jay that had, that super funny one.
Yeah.
That, was just super contagious.
You know what's funny is that that was one of my big takeaways was all the different types of laughs they have. Yeah. And just how I live. If you know me, you know I love to laugh.
Yes.
And you know I love to make people laugh.
Yes.
And it's at the stupidest things. It doesn't have to be a whole setup. It's just the most, the stupidest thing is a sound or an expression. Just so stupid, right?
Yep. Yep, I get it. I totally get it.
I wasn't ready. So there was that part of I hate you. The part of the guide that really got me was their laughs, because I was trying to hold it in.
Yeah, we were dying.
I was dying, but also
and he laughs with his whole body. I loved it.
Whole body. And I also loved, and I can't remember which group member it was, but it was the one that would if you got on it, if you kept pushing his buttons, he would just
Yeah.
And just stare at you. Or when there was one point where he sat there and looked at another member and was literally doing an interview, and he took the microphone and went,
Yeah.
I can't, I love him.
Yeah.
Because I live for something that I would have kept poking his buttons and
yeah, exactly.
Tee-hee.
Yeah, I think it was like one member particularly too. Was it Bam Bam?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
That is me. I'm like, tee.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Um,
yeah, definitely younger, older brother energy all the way.
Yes.
Like, so much so.
Yes.
Like, more than I think any other group that I can think of.
I feel that.
Like,
I feel that.
Not that other groups don't feel like brothers, but like, that particular
Yes.
fun energy.
Yes.
That's like, because I also feel, because there were a couple of members that got like heated at some point.
Yes.
Like Mark, especially.
Mark wasn't playing.
Yeah.
Mark was like, turn these cameras off.
Yeah.
But I was trying to see if maybe that was his personality. He just naturally was just kind of like...
He did seem kind of just like, you know, they call him the LA gangster. Yeah. So,
hey, Mark.
but that's such like brother energy. I know I've said this a million times, but like that little tip over, like you can be having a great time and you can be and then all of a sudden that's it.
Right.
You know?
That's enough!
Exactly. Or, Mom!
Right. I'm gonna tell!
Exactly.
I will definitely say my unbiased, is that the way you say it? Unbiased?
No, biased.
Oh, biased. Okay.
No, I'm sorry. What do you...
like when you say like, I love all the members, but like the ones that stood out for me, or
your
the ones
biases are.
My biases are. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a grammar lesson, y'all, so you know
like
what I mean?
K-pop grammar lesson.
Yes. My bias are...
Is. Yeah. Uh-huh.
I really like Jackson, of course.
Yeah.
I love Bam Bam.
Yes.
Love Bam Bam. And I love JB.
Yeah. He was great.
JB just, oh my God.
Yeah.
I love them all. I love them all. Each of them was like, they all just, it felt like a bunch of brothers.
Yeah.
And also just to, you know, to
quick overview. Yep.
Yeah, quick overview of their music.
Yeah.
I'm going to go over to their discography.
So I think it was 2014 they debuted?
Yep, it was. Yep, it was. They were announced on January 1st, 2014.
Oh, wow.
And they were debuting. JYP said that they were their first boy group since a group called 2 PM.
Okay. We haven't heard them. I've heard of them, but I have not heard their music.
Okay.
So they're under JYP. Okay, I thought that was right, but I couldn't remember.
And it said that JYP released their first EP 20 days later on January 20th, 2014.
So JYP is also Stray Kids, ITZY, Twice, Extraordinary Heroes, bunch of groups. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yep.
So basically, they sold. Well, I shouldn't say they sold. Let me see. They have. Ready for this?
I'm ready.
5 full studio albums.
Wow.
They have 12 video albums.
Wow.
They have 23 singles.
Jesus.
They have 2 box sets.
Wow.
And they have 16 EPs.
Wow.
And their most recent EP came out in May of 2022.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
May of 2022. The EP is called GOT7.
Okay.
And if I'm
Which
not...
is so funny because that's usually like a first album thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like usually it's like a self-titled kind of thing.
And the EP had the song Na Na Na.
Oh, okay.
And it was
that recent. Okay. I didn't think it was, but okay. I like it.
But I guess that was the only single that came off of it. And a lot of it had to do with the fact that they ended up not being signed to JYP anymore because their contract ended January 19th of 2021.
Okay.
So
that happens a lot. They might move companies, or they can. Some members might sign. Some members might go somewhere else. You know what I mean? So yeah.
And also because Jackson Wang moved to China and Mark moved to the U.S.
Yeah.
The restrictions on the meetings.
During COVID.
During COVID was really hard.
Yeah.
So due to overlapping schedules, Mark Jackson and Bam Bam were unable to produce songs for this album, which...
Bam Bam was probably in Thailand.
Yeah. So, and that was the last type of piece of anything. But basically what I did read too was that they all focused, once their contract kind of ended, they all focused on solo endeavors, but still were a group.
Nice.
So right when their contract ended, they were working on the group album, but then trying to, you know, work through that schedule with COVID.
Sure.
But then they also were still doing their independent, like, solo stuff.
Yeah.
Which, you know, really gave Jackson time to really thrive. And, you know, so what I'm guessing, since there's not a lot of updates, is that last year they released their EP, and I think now they're going back into their solo stuff because, as you know, Jackson came out with all these remixes and the solos. Yeah. Not saying that, you know, because I mean, members from Blackpink have solo stuff out right now, but I'm just going off of that vibe. Yeah. But
let us know in the comments, guys, if you know, have they officially disbanded or are they together but kind of labelless right now and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Well, the last thing I did see was that the EP ended up coming out on
through Jackson's label?
It was through Warner Korea.
Oh, okay. So, gotcha. Yeah.
So that was like, I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, shout out to GOT7. Definitely love them.
Yes, absolutely.
And I just figured this would be a nice little segue.
Yes, I think it just might. Yeah. Into what again? What are we
Bee's
doing
Nectar of the Week.
And what is Bee's Nectar of the Week, Bee?
So
Can you explain it to the children?
Nectar of the Week is a segment of our show where I will bring my musical knowledge and what I know about music outside of K-pop. Because it's all about me. No, in all seriousness. So obviously we all talk about K-pop music.
Yes.
And we are also all about expanding our palettes when it comes to music.
Yes.
So Bee's Nectar of the Week is a segment of the show where I will introduce you guys or maybe rehash an artist or group that you may know that is in the same realm of our featured artist of the week. So, and how we kind of go about that is we kick it off to see if Kay knows who I'm going to say.
No.
Now, it could be a group or a single artist, a solo artist. And I'll give a hint. Kay's usually really good and she'll get it. But this one was a little bit harder because I really had to think about it and I was stuck between two artists.
Okay.
But one artist stood out just because of the longevity of this group.
Okay.
The impact that they've had.
Okay.
As together and as solo.
Okay. Interesting.
And so I decided to pick an artist who is a solo artist.
Okay.
So these are the hints that I'm giving.
Okay. Were they part of a group?
They were never part of a group.
Okay. So just solo. Okay. All right.
They've always been solo.
Okay.
And I will say this artist is definitely eclectic.
Okay. All right.
They have their own lane that they feel comfortable in and what they're known for, but they are a superstar and they can do any genre. And
I'm shaking my head right now for all of you listening.
And the only other clue I'll give you is that they came out in the 90s.
Oh my God. I have no idea. A solo artist.
And the last clue I'm going to give you is think about this group and think about the style of music that they've done as a group, but also as solo artists.
Okay. That does not help me at all because I've been trying to think since we listened to stuff like what it could be, you know? Oh my goodness. I don't know. In the 90s, huh? I truly don't know.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let me know. I'm probably going to be like,
So the artist that I was thinking of, which definitely was influenced, I will say, was influenced by Jackson.
Okay.
But then also, when I heard Na Na Na, it made me think of this artist because their newest music, they actually just released a brand new single last week at the date of this recording.
Okay.
And it's just the vibe and everything remind me of it. And it just made sense because when I think of Jackson, I think of this person. And I picked Usher.
Oh, okay. All right. I can see it.
And so the reason I picked Usher is because obviously Usher is known to be, you know, in his lane when it comes to R&B, but he has clearly gone into pop.
Yeah.
He's gone into hip hop.
Yep.
He's done some acoustic stuff. If you listen to his albums, he even has some like Latin influences on some of his albums.
Oh, nice.
He has some like acoustic-y Brazilian type of music on one album, like on one track. So there's like, he's just so eclectic, and that's who, you know, GOT7 reminds me of as far as their style. The performance is big with Usher. That's the other reason I picked him, is because even to this day, he is in his 40s and he is performing a Vegas residency that's sold out, that got extended.
Nice.
And every celebrity you could think of has gone, and everybody says that Usher is performing harder and better than when these songs that he's performing first came out in 2001 and 2010.
I love
and like,
that. I love
they're
that.
like, and he's in his 40s.
Yeah.
And he's killing it.
I mean, you know, 40 years.
40s, okay.
40s are fine. 40s are fine.
40s are incredible.
40s
Somebody
are
says that
incredible.
something kicks in and like you just gain this power.
You know what it is? You stop caring about what other people think so much. Because your teens and your 20s, that's all you care about, really.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Unless you're an amazing person, which I was not. Your 30s, you're kind of getting there, but still, you're maybe figuring out your career a little bit more still, blah, 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 kind of figuring out. Once you hit their 40s, usually, now don't get me wrong, because like I'm in a certain career that I really love, but now I found this realm and I really love that, and I want to continue maybe doing something in that. So still, it's all learning, it's all a process. But when I was 20, I never would have done this. Ever. You know, in my 30s, I probably wouldn't have either. But now that I'm in my 40s, again, with that whole kind of, you just don't. And you're willing to, you're at a point too where, I know for me, like my parents are getting older. And you kind of see like, you're like, okay, they were my age and like, well, you know, and so you kind of like really think about like, taking care of yourself better and figuring out like how to do all the things you want. You know what I mean? So it's kind of not midlife crisis-y, but ish. You know what I mean? You kind of, you get that momentum to kind of do what you want to do with your life, I think, a little bit more and figure it out a little bit more.
Yeah, I feel that. I definitely feel that.
So that's awesome that he has taken that and...
and just ran with it. I'm here for it.
Me too.
So I will give you, so Usher is Usher.
Yes, he is.
But I found a very consolidated version of his biography.
Because I'm sure it's quite long.
Extensive, yes. So that's why I was like, oh, this is perfect.
Is it Raymond?
Yep, Usher Raymond.
Usher Raymond.
Usher Raymond the Fourth.
Nice.
So Usher was born in 1978.
Well, wow, I didn't realize he was older than me. I didn't realize that at all.
And
oh my God. I feel young. Well, not young, but I feel seen.
He was born in Dallas, Texas, and then he was raised in Chattanooga, Tennessee until he moved to Atlanta, Georgia.
Nice. I've also been there.
Yes. So at age 12, his mother put him in a local singing competition, and he got the attention of an A&R from LaFace Records, which at the time was Babyface. And oh my God, it's gonna come to me.
Yes.
L.A. Reid.
Yes,
had to come to me. I was like, I know it.
I know. I was like, I know it too.
So he released his debut album in 1994 called Usher, which didn't really have a lot of hits. It was kind of like one of those situations where Janet Jackson first came out and nobody remembers Janet's first two albums. Unless you're a real, like, fan. Although I love that song. Young Love. But, so it was kind of the same thing with Usher. First album came out, didn't really do anything. Like, as far as, like, compared to his other stuff, it was just kind of like introducing him. And he was 94. In 1994, he was young. So they actually sent him basically away. I was watching his Behind the Music, and the making of his next album, which is where he blew up, they sent him away to basically kind of grow up. But they sent him to be around like Diddy and Jermaine Dupri and all these people. So this 16-year-old kid, 17-year-old kid is doing stuff which he said he shouldn't have been doing.
Yeah.
Well,
or don't we all at 17?
Right. And, you know, back then there was different things that they thought was cool to kind of initiate you to become a man.
Yeah.
So Usher at this age was going to strip clubs and being around all these. And I was just like, oh, God. But because of that, next thing you know, his next album came out, which came out in 1997, which blew him up, and it's called My Way.
Yeah, okay.
It spawned his first U.S. #1 single with the song Nice and Slow.
Nice.
Then he had two top 2 singles, which was You Make Me Wanna Leave the One I'm With, Start a New Relationship with You, This Is What You Do. And then he had another song, which was the album track called My Way. Then, after that album blew up, so millions of albums, his third album, 8701, came out on that date, which was August 7th, 2001.
Yep.
And it produced the #1 singles, You Remind Me.
Yep.
And it had the song You Got It Bad.
Nice.
And then it also had the song You Don't Have to Call, which I love that song. That whole album is fire, start to finish.
And now I'm like kind of remembering more Usher songs and saying them too. It's been a while since I've like listened to some Usher, so that's awesome.
Right? It ended up selling 8 million copies worldwide and won him his first 2 Grammy Awards for Best Male R&B Vocal Performance in 2002. And he won the same award a year later from a song on the same album.
Nice.
Super dope.
That's awesome.
It wasn't until his 2004 album, Confessions, which made him a bona fide star.
Yes,
it made him a legend.
Yeah.
It established him as one of the best-selling musical artists of the 2000s decades.
Nice.
Gaining 4 consecutive #1 singles from that album alone.
Wow.
With Yeah, featuring Lil Jon and Ludacris.
Oh, yeah.
Earn.
Okay.
Confessions Part 2.
Yeah.
And My Boo featuring Alicia Keys.
Nice.
It also had the top 10 single Caught Up. That album went on to sell over 20 million copies worldwide and was certified diamond, which is 10 million sales in the US.
Wow.
And then after splitting from his manager, who was his mom was his momager in 2007, he released his albums Here I Stand, which featured that had the #1 single Love in This Club with Young Jeezy. And he also released his other album, Raymond vs. Raymond, 2 years later, which had the #1 single Oh My God featuring will.i.am.
Yeah.
He also had an EP come out that had the song DJ Got Us Falling in Love featuring Pitbull. And during that whole period, all of his songs, Usher really got into this like dance type of situation, which was really going on during that time.
Yeah, I love it.
So he was all about that. And then in 2012, he went back to his R&B roots with his album Looking for Myself, which debuted atop of the Billboard 200 chart. And it had the top 10 single Scream, as long as the song There Goes My Baby, and then the viral hit Climax. And they both received Grammy Awards in 2011 and 2013.
Nice.
And then in 2014, he had a song called I Don't Mind featuring Juicy J off of his last released album called Hard to Love in 2016. And then he released a collaborative record with a producer called Zaytoven, which is like an EP called A. And that was in 2018. Usher is referred to as the king of R&B by various media outlets. He has sold 23 million albums in the U.S. and 38 million digital songs in the U.S.
Wow.
Internationally, he has sold 80 million records.
That's insane.
So altogether, he has sold over 120 million. He has over 120 million in sales, and he is considered one of the best-selling musicians of all time.
Yeah, with numbers like that, for sure.
And,
I really wasn't he the DJ, or he played like the DJ in, oh god, it was a teen movie. What it was She's All That. Was that? No, not was it She's All That? Yeah, I think so, right? And they did the Rockefeller skate.
Yep.
Yeah. Right about now. Yeah. And everyone did the whole dance. Yeah.
And he was also in the movie The Faculty.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I love that movie. Oh, I haven't watched that in so long.
I remember when that movie came out.
Oh my god, I love that movie.
That movie was crazy.
Yes.
That movie was crazy.
I love that.
And before I forget, Usher has been working on it for the last couple of years. It was supposed to come out a couple of years ago, but he made Confessions Continued. Like, I don't know what it's called.
Nice,
I think there was a title for it, and I think he changed it.
Yeah.
But the first single, or the first few songs that come off of it have come out over the last, 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically this year, there's been 3 singles released, or 2 singles released.
Nice.
One called Glue, and the other one is called Good Good. And that just came out. So y'all should go listen to those.
Yeah. No,
Shout out to Usher, though. We love you, boo.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I kind of forgotten until you said, all the names, how
Right?
much I know about,
Right?
how much music I know from Usher. Yeah.
Is that crazy when you think about
It
So
is.
I have a really good Say What segment.
Okay.
But I want to ask you, so I'm gonna lead in with this.
Okay.
So
Alright.
just for everybody wondering, Say What is a section where it's like a palate cleanser. End of our show, it could be about the same, subject, or it could be something totally random.
Different, yeah.
So the reason I'm bringing this up is because, as you guys know, I'm sure at this point you might have, heard that, I might have just seen my idol this past week. Beyonce. And there was something that I took away from that show,
Mm-hmm.
and it just reminds me of what just happened just now. So as I was reading those out, right, all of a sudden you started to remember all the songs, right? You started remembering. Now, my question to you is, what made you remember? Was it the actual song and the sound and just me saying the name? Or was it did it make you think of music videos? Did it make you think of album art and album eras? What came to mind?
So, for me, when you said the name,
Yep.
I immediately started hearing the song.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of music videos definitely came up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I ever owned an album.
Right. But it was just the singles that stuck out.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I remember the album title Confessions for sure.
Yes.
And yeah, as you were going, I could kind of pinpoint what the song was and kind of hear it a little bit in my head. And I was like, is that the song? But yeah, it was definitely more MVs, I think.
Mm.
Although I wasn't that huge into watching videos back then, really.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely the song. And I could hear it. Especially when he said, yeah. I was like, yeah.
Yes!
Yeah, I was like, Lil Jon, oh my God. I haven't even thought about him in so long.
Yes, actually, side note, he has a show called Little John. I don't even know the title, but it's just Little John Does It All or something. It's just random things that he's going to do. Probably.
I would love to watch that, actually.
Interesting.
I don't know much about him, but everything I do know, I feel like that chaos energy is there. So yeah.
Well, the reason I bring that up is because for this Say What section, my question to you and the question for Say What is, have you ever gone to a concert?
Yes. Okay.
Or watch a music video. Obviously you hear songs, right? Yep. You hear albums.
Mm-hmm.
An album comes out. Mm-hmm. Obviously there's one music video that might come to mind that gets you into it.
Yep.
Right? Now, but has there, can you tell me a time where you've gone to a concert or, like I said, anything of those situations that changed the way that you viewed an album or made it pop into your memory? So for instance, with me, for Beyonce, it was the Renaissance show, right? And when I went and saw her, she performed every song off of Renaissance. And I've been listening to the album, mind you, no visuals. So I've been listening to the album and focusing on the music, but just in my mind as a fan, coming up with how I would conceptualize and visualize what this would look like. And then she performed it, and it's all these songs are totally different now, and I cannot stop playing the album because now it's oh my God, I saw the way that maybe she envisioned it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I think of the same thing with music videos. So it's I'm naming all those Usher songs off, and maybe you thought of the videos and stuff or the album eras or the design. So my question to you is, what concert or show or documentary video, whatever, have you seen and it completely changed the way that you thought about the track itself or the album it was from, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. So I'm trying to think because a lot of times, especially now when I watch an MV, I'm hearing the song for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think if there's a time when I watched the MV like after I'd heard the song a bunch. I'm not sure.
Yes.
There have definitely been times at concerts where I've had like almost like a religious experience listening to a song.
Listen,
like
that is so true.
Like,
go ahead. Yeah.
My personal favorite, and I can't remember if I've talked about this before.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a huge Moby fan.
Yes.
Huge.
Yes. I feel like you might have told me about this show.
Yeah, I won tickets to Area 1. It was this huge show. It was so many people.
Mm-hmm.
And a bunch of DJs too. But like, it was huge.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a song called Porcelain, which we heard, you know, and he played it and I cried.
Yes.
I bawled.
Did he ever orchestra or anything with him at that?
No.
Okay, nothing like that. Okay.
But he has done things like that.
Okay.
But that's my song that like I can be happy to, or I can be sad to, or like it's a song I can come back to kind of for everything.
Yes.
So it was literally like, and there's nothing like live music, just nothing. Even if it's a DJ, you know what I mean? Like just something about being there and sharing that experience with other people.
Yeah.
And sharing that experience with the artist. For sure.
Because also in moments like that, I don't know about you, but sometimes I get self-conscious because I'm like, oh, do I look crazy right now? Like, are people looking at me? Oh, I was like, is anybody else feeling what I'm feeling right now? And then it's like you look around and you're like, oh my God, other people get it.
Yeah. And another one I went to go see is August D. So Suga from BTS. And who just enlisted. He just put in his thing. He just had his last concert in Seoul for that tour for D-Day. And it's really, I don't think we watched the Amygdala video. I can't remember. It's the one where he's talking about like his past traumas and stuff. And at the end, he can't open this door. At the end of the tour, at the very last show, he went and he opened the door and walked through it.
Oh,
so powerful. He had Jimin came and did a song with him, and then he let him do his solo song. Jungkook came and did a song with him, and then he let him do a solo song. RM came and did a song with him. Oh my God. And then he did a brand new unreleased track that was at the last one. And Jin and Hobie were there, who are in the military now, but they got leave to come to the show.
Which, can we side note, like, remember when everybody found out about that? And now it's already, like, towards the end of 2023. It's literally, like, they're going to be back before you know it. Yeah, for sure. Literally. But yeah, so he has a song, Seesaw. And it's kind of about like his youth and like all sorts of stuff. And so on the tour, he brought out like an acoustic guitar and he was playing it, or was it acoustic? I can't remember if it was acoustic or electric. Anyway, guitar, and he was playing it. But at the show I went to, his guitar string broke. And it was this whole moment with the audience and stuff like that, because he was kind of like, oh, I don't know what to do, kind of, you know what I mean? And then like, and it's almost like a play on the actual, I mean, it sounds like it's like a deep emotional, so it's like, because the guitar he was using was all signed by the members and like has all little drawings and stuff on it, and so it like especially means a lot to him. So it was before the song started, so someone came out and gave him another guitar, and you know, he played it and stuff. But it was kind of this moment that was like a little bittersweet, because it was like the signed by the members guitar and stuff like that, and it was kind of like, oh, you know, and also the song is just really beautiful, and it was great to hear like that version of it. But it was that moment where literally his I have it on video, like where he's just like, oh, you know, and like you're kind of there with him with an like it was such a human moment that he shared with like 10,000 people or however many people were there, you know what I mean? And so the whole concert was amazing, but that one moment was just so lovely to have. You know what I mean? I think those two are kind of my two favorite moments at a concert I've ever been to. What about you? I would say honestly, the Beyonce, like, I mean, just any concert that I go to, I can honestly say that after I see an artist sing or perform like the full, whether it's a full album or just songs from the album, I look at the music differently, and then I can't help but listen to it. And then obviously it brings me back to when I actually saw them perform it. But it's just like, now I just look like there are songs, first of all, there was not a single song that I will not listen to on Renaissance.
Right,
period.
right.
I can listen to it straight through completely fine. But there are certain songs that like I gravitate towards more because they just my personal like, you know, what the things that I like in music. I can honestly, so I would just throw the album on, just let it play start to finish.
Sure.
But there are times like if I'm driving and I make like a playlist, I'll take certain songs off that I want. All that, right? Yep. I cannot stop listening to the album start to finish because now that I saw the show and all the interludes and how it all pieced together, and now there's never been a visual for it, and now that there is, like from what you see at the show, now I'm like,
Lemonade and Black is King is like that for me too.
Yes.
You know, I can't remember if I listened to them first or if I watched the video. I think I watched the video first. Right. But now when I hear it, that's what I go back to.
That's exactly. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like that's like that the way that like music transcends when you actually see visuals. And that's how I feel
K-pop does that so well. Their videos are like movie production.
That's literally like going back to GOT7.
We just watched that. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Yeah. It's great to see there. I remember we watched a couple weeks ago that CIX, the Save Me, Kill Me. We both literally had our jaws dropped.
Because we weren't ready. We were like...
Yeah. But it tells such a story, you know?
And it sticks with you. And that's how I feel. Not for nothing. That's what has helped me as somebody who has never really been... Like, I've just never been... like as like fluent when it comes to just the K-pop music as a whole. Yeah. So like
it's been a learning experience for sure.
Right. Yeah. But now when we watch these guides, now I'm always gonna remember like when I think of GOT7, I think of Chaos, Belly, the best laughs in the world. Yes. The crispest, most on point dancing. Yes. Vibes with the music, like it's just like it all just comes full circle. Like it's just that visualization and what you get out of it.
Oh, absolutely! I love watching the guides. I love watching bonus content stuff because it makes you fall in love with them as people, which makes their music mean so much more. I know I say that all the time.
No, but it's true. It's true. It
truly does.
It bears repeating.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. It's like watching a documentary about your favorite artists. Yeah.
Speaking of, I just watched that Wham documentary. We'll talk about it.
Okay. All right. I guess. Oh, it was good. Yeah. Nice.
Love George Michael.
Yes, I know.
But yeah, it was super dope.
Well, we loved GOT7. We really did. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed all our videos. Definitely leave us some more suggestions for them. We can't wait to get into more.
Yeah, and make sure you go stream and run their numbers.
Yes, absolutely.
Solo and as a group.
Yes. Oh, I know. I'm gonna have to go listen to Magic Man later.
Yeah, do it.
Such a good album. The whole thing is so good.
Oh my god.
We love you guys.
We love you
Thank
guys
you so much. We'll see you next time. Bye.